Now, we always knew that the truth was ugly, but now it's undeniable. The man the media crowned is untouchable. His entire narrative just got flipped, and CNN can't stop the bleeding over it. Now, I want y'all to hear Obama's response to this.
The spokesman releasing a statement saying these bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intel Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. So, Jillian, we are likely to have questions and hear more potentially from Karoline Leavitt, who's set to brief in the briefing room today at 1 o'clock. Jillian?
Griff Jenkins live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue for us this morning. Thanks.
So let's get some reaction on this. Byron Donalds, Florida Congressman, sits on the House Oversight Committee looking into all these allegations. Sir, good morning to you.
Good morning.
My question to you, I know the report has just been declassified. Have you seen it? Are you aware of its contents?
I'm aware of its contents, actually going to be going through it today. But let's assert a couple things. Number one, the statement from President Obama yesterday is flimsy at best because they use this fake intelligence that, quite frankly, nowhere in the actual intelligence community could they produce it. They concocted this out of the White House to launch almost a 2-year investigation into Donald Trump and his administration to derail that administration. And the only reason why they did this is because they just could not get over the fact that Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton, stopping the radical left from continuing their policies from the Obama administration into what they thought was going to be a Clinton administration. So that's the bottom line here. So there has to be more investigations into this. This is something definitely, in my opinion, the FBI and the Department of Justice need to look into, because the key question is who in the White House and or what officials went to the FISA courts to get wiretaps into the Trump campaign and also into elements of the Trump administration.
Exactly. Let me turn my mic up. But this wasn't just opinion. That man was sitting on the White House Oversight Committee saying what most of us already knew in our gut. Obama's administration was never about hope and change. It was about control, manufactured intelligence, weaponized agencies, all to stop an outsider who wouldn't play their game. They call us conspiracy theorists, but here we are, watching our own chessboard collapse. So now, let's go where they really lost control. Right in the White House briefing room. This isn't a theory. Again, this is the moment the mask came off. And the first moment CNN couldn't handle it.
Just on this, Director Gabbard, you referenced the past intelligence reports and assessments on this, including that 2017 one that was signed off, as Ed noted, by every Republican on the Senate Intelligence Community, including the acting chair of the time, now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said in a statement that they did not find any evidence of Russian collusion, but they did find, however, is very troubling, and they found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. One, are you saying that he's wrong in that statement that he made then? And secondly, what would you say to people who believe that you're only releasing these documents now to improve your standing with the president after he said that your intelligence assessments were wrong?
Whew, y'all seen the head shake? Oh, it's about to go down.
Well, first, I want to correct something that you stated, which was citing the Senate Intelligence Committee's report as being one and the same. I think you said the intelligence community. The Senate Intelligence Committee has a very different function than the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The evidence and the intelligence that has been declassified and released is irrefutable. I'm going to let Karoline speak to Secretary Rubio.
I'll speak to both questions. First, on Secretary Rubio, he put out a statement in 2020 following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos. But what's the outrage in this that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians, that the president's son was holding secret meetings with the Russians, all of these lies that were never true. And he also said at that time, we discovered deeply troubling actions taken by the FBI under Comey, particularly their acceptance and willingness to rely on the Steele dossier without verifying its methodology or sourcing. The Steele dossier that many outlets in this room ran as the gospel truth, and it was cooked up and paid for by the Clinton campaign. As for your second question, Caitlin, I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the Director of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard. He always has. He continues to, and that is true of his entire cabinet, who is all working as one team to deliver on the promises this president made.
Y'all see that? Yeah, man. It was this. I'm gonna go back to that head shake when she was like, Y'all seen that? Caitlin tried to cling to that narrative like her job depended on it. Probably because it does. But Tulsi, she was calm, surgical. She corrected the record, exposed the manipulation, and called out the very same Democrats who paid for a phony dossier to spy on our guy Trump. And shout out to Karoline Leavitt. Whew. She did what the previous, no, really what most press secretaries are too scared to do, which is tell the truth to the media's face. Intel wasn't used. Intel, what'd she say? The intel they used wasn't flawed. It was purchased, basically. And the FBI, they didn't verify a thing. They ran away. They ran with it, and yeah. Ask yourself why. And right when you think the narrative finally flipped, because it did, CNN, they hit that panic button, y'all.
That she's in a pretty intensive CYA operation, because it was a few weeks ago when Donald Trump was saying she was flat out wrong with her Iran assessments and the things that she had testified to in front of Congress.
And Ambassador, like, you were in Congress when all this was happening and defended the need for an actual investigation into Russian interference. Is she telling the truth that Russia did not interfere in the 2016 election?
Of course they interfered. They didn't turn any votes. It's just as so many of the intelligence agencies and the Senate committee and everybody found. Of course they wanted to. Russians are always meddling in elections. Were they successful? Not really. But they meddled.
Were you serving with Marco Rubio at the time? Were you in the Senate or in the House?
Yeah, I was in the Senate.
Because it's significant that Marco Rubio co-signs and endorsed the conclusions of this investigation.
Here's the scandal.
Oh, do tell.
No votes, you just said, and I think you're right. Maybe they tried. It had no impact on the election. The scandal is this, that high-ranking Democrats abuse their intelligence positions to try to convince half the American people and one entire political party that Russia stole the 2016 election. And they succeeded. Today it is an article of faith among Democrats.
How did they?
That's the scandal.
I think, Scott, you have to actually back that up. How did they do that, in your opinion? I mean, you're alleging that there was a conspiracy led by Obama to say that Russia changed the votes, which they did not say. So what are you talking about exactly?
I'm telling you that the program was this. They were shocked that Donald Trump won the election. They couldn't believe it. No. And so these people, I don't know who is responsible for it ultimately, but it deserves investigation.
Oh, wait a minute, just a minute ago, you were saying the Wall Street Journal.
Why don't you let me finish? These people wanted the American people to believe it was an illegitimate president. That was the plan.
It is so frustrating. It is so frustrating watching this man sit quietly. I'm not saying he always does. I'm not saying Scott doesn't interrupt or interject at all. I'm not saying he's a saint. But it is so frustrating watching him try to make a point and watch them just clobber all over it every time they hear an aspect of it that they don't like, without allowing him to fully express his conclusions. It's childlike. And then this guy, can you let me finish? I'm not going to let you finish because you won't let me finish. That was the same response I got during a debate with a lip. That's neither here nor there, though. But
an illegitimate president. That was the point.
The Obama deep state, multiple officials.
Yes. So what about
I sat here night after night on panel after panel.
Let's all calm down. Let's simmer down now. Okay, listen. Is Marco Rubio in the Obama deep state?
No, but this is
Marco Rubio in the Obama deep state?
No, but you are.
How is that? Okay, let's just bring it back to the facts here. Is Marco Rubio in the Obama deep state?
Did he author the Steele dossier?
Oh, yeah. Okay, Senator, Ambassador. Let me go to you on this because there was a bipartisan committee that looked into this. That bipartisan committee was led in part by Marco Rubio, and they concluded what? What did they conclude? Was it that Russia interfered in the election or that Russia did not?
Well, that Russia interfered. They always do.
Okay. So is Marco Rubio...
It didn't change a vote.
It didn't, but what do people believe? What do people believe?
So hold on a second. Is this about what the intelligence community concluded, or is it about what you think the public believes? Are those two things the same, or are they different?
Abby, why would they believe it if they weren't told that by their government? If they were told that by the White House.
If you are accusing people of crimes, okay,
I don't know if it's criminal, but it deserves
you
investigation.
might want to have your facts in order because
the facts are this.
Hold on a second.
They won't even give them.
That's what they told you.
You cannot criminalize. You cannot target people with the law.
I think it deserves investigation.
By saying that they authored an assessment that says in plain text what Russia. Hold on a second. It says in plain text what Russia did in the election, and then you want to punish them for what people believe?
Yes, I want to punish them and investigate them.
That is absolutely wrong.
For leading the United States down this ridiculous black hole.
Two points. One in response to this guy, and one about the whole conversation. First of all, in the last segment, Scott was complaining because the Wall Street Journal was reporting factually based sourced argument, information,
unverified hearsay was the term.
Factually based sourced information, and now he comes on making wild accusations with no factual basis. So there's a hypocrisy there. Wait. Let me something here. You just spent the last half hour, Scott. You spent the last half hour monopolizing.
Anna, just give me 1 second. Let me let Keith finish his point, and then we can continue. Go ahead, Keith.
First of all, I wouldn't take the Lord's name in vain on
Well, you have pretty much. So
Secondly, give us a moment.
Secondly, and this is the point that I think is the larger issue. This conversation is exactly the conversation Donald Trump wants us to be having. He doesn't want us to talk about the Epstein scandal, so he threw up Tulsi Gabbard to bring out this old, unsubstantiated charge against Barack Obama, who was 3 presidents ago, to get...
I need a break. Y'all just breathe. Just. I mean, this guy's the projection, man. I'm constantly, you're here filibustering, you're out here gaslighting, and you're just and trying to say, oh, yesterday you said this, that, and the third. Wow, manipulating phrases, and it's just so annoying watching these people act like they're so much better than everybody while trying to say that we're acting like we're better than everybody. Abby does a horrible job at mediating this. Oh, my gosh.
Talk about the Epstein scandal. So he threw up Tulsi Gabbard to bring out this old, unsubstantiated charge against Barack Obama, who was 3 presidents ago, to get Scott Jennings on national television, to get his base talking about that issue. It's all part of Donald Trump's plan, and Scott's playing right into it. We should be talking about how the Epstein scandal is preventing Congress from doing its job, preventing them from talking about jobs and health care and education and affordable housing, preventing them from doing the American people's work. But Scott is working with Donald Trump to get you talking about Barack Obama, who's not even the president.
Caroline,
I would argue that Democrats are
word.
I would actually argue that Democrats are really having a heyday with the Epstein scandal instead of focusing on the things that matter, like inflation and even the Medicaid reform, if they really want to go there. But I think we're getting a little confused about what this Russia bombshell actually is.
It's not
saying
a bombshell.
Actually, it is. It's showing that Obama was indeed the architect of the Russian collusion hoax. Because he fed fake intelligence to the media, which served as the basis for multiple smear campaigns against the
What
sitting
exactly was
president.
he the architect of?
Every time they ask a question, they interrupt as soon as they give the answer. It's so annoying. And these are the people that the people believe?
Actually, it is. It's showing that Obama was indeed the architect of the Russian collusion hoax. Because he fed fake intelligence to the media, which served as the basis for multiple smear campaigns against the
What
sitting
exactly
president.
was he the architect of?
He's the one who gave his officials gave the assessment to the media that was derived from the discredited Steele dossier.
What did the assessment say?
The Steele dossier?
What did the assessment say? The IC assessment. What did it say?
The assessment was derived from the Steele dossier, which said that Trump was accused.
What did it actually say? Not what is it derived from. What did it actually say? What was the conclusion of the IC assessment?
I'm not going to regurgitate it verbatim.
I've said it
the
1,000
conclusion
times
was that the
at
Russians
this table.
tried to meddle in the elections, that they had done all sorts of things,
Exactly.
but that there was no evidence
it did
that they
not
had changed the
say
result.
that they changed the votes. That is not what it said.
And if you don't know that, then you shouldn't be on the panel.
In any case.
Also, listen. In
any case.
This though.
Yes.
Okay. So we are here saying, or some of you are saying that high-level Democrats were trying to get half the country, to believe that Donald Trump had not legitimately won the election. What I saw was Barack Obama greet then President-elect Trump in 2016 at the White House. I saw him properly transition with the Trump team. I saw him be at the swearing in of Donald Trump. I did not see him trying to lead an insurrection and fan the flames or stop the way that the House was going to certify the election.
I can't even look up at this.
What did Donald Trump do when Joe Biden won? None of those things. None of those things.
I can make excuses for it, but the fact that one political party takes it as an article, your party takes it as an article of faith that Russia stole the election.
Okay.
What I said to you was
Scott, I'm sorry. I'm
Barack
sorry,
Obama
but
treated Donald Trump
hold on a
as
second, guys. We really have to go to break. But
president.
We have to go
Donald
to
Trump
break.
did not treat Joe Biden in the same way.
We do have to go to break, but there is only one political party.
You just watch how they twist, deflect, yell over each other. They don't even believe what they're saying anymore. They keep trying to find, this is the truth moments, right? Their job isn't to inform you, right? It's to confuse you. They called Tulsi's accusations baseless, but didn't deny a single fact. They just threw out smoke. How dare she bring up Obama? Why? Because you think he's off limits? Let me remind y'all, the same people trying to smear Trump for this whole denial literally built their entire narrative on the Russian ghosts and Hillary funded fiction. They said Russia changed votes and Trump wasn't legitimate. And now they're trying to erase that from history. But same thing. Don't just watch the panic. We just gonna watch and see what it means. Who wants to see this become a reality? Sure, it's satire, but it hit close to the truth. The left calls it disinformation, but they spend years pushing laws that tore this country apart. Now they're terrified because the same machine they use is turning it back on them. And the laws are unraveling and people are waking up. And right on cue. Y'all be safe, man. After listening to all that, I mean, just weak, no answers, no accountability, just more distraction. And we know if it were Trump, they'd already have 5 indictments, 2 mugshots, and a Netflix documentary going right now. This time, man, the script done flipped, and people are watching this closely. Now, if you're tired of being lied to, manipulated, and gaslit by the media that protects his own, make sure y'all follow me on, X and Rumble up here too, man. Because we always going to say what they too afraid to say daily. We don't worship politicians over truth. And we don't fold when the mob we think. That's why we're a team think. Y'all be safe. Go check us somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.